So it's the first week in September, so I thought I'd give you a kind of deep dive into the harvest, and I'll talk a little bit about how the harvest is going to shape up over September and how things are going to change, what's finishing, what's starting, how much of things we've got, you know, all that sort of thing. Just to give you a real proper deep dive into harvesting. So we'll start with the brassicas. So we're just kind of re-entering, I guess, brassica season. I've got lots of different types of brassicas there, mainly kales. We like to do a nice mix of sort of 4 or 5 different types, but we've got kales and Brussels sprouts and collet leaves basically in those. And then we're now kind of entering pak choy season. So we've got the tat soy there, which is looking really nice. And probably looking even better, I've got the red pak choys. And we'll just start off kind of going for the bigger Asian greens. In a few weeks' time, we'll sow those, things like the tat soy and things like joy choy and things like that. So those are looking nice. So that's the first real harvest, I guess, of the Asian greens. Then courgette-wise, we're mainly eating these. So these are the tromboncinos. And we've got a few of those. If you can leave them to hang down, then they're like that. And then if you grow them kind of horizontal, they're like that. Obviously, it's nicer, I think, to have them straight. And then we've got, you know, a variety of different courgettes, just traditional courgettes and things like that. All the kind of round courgettes are finished now, but we've got round winter squashes if we wanted those for stuffing. And then we've got these really gorgeous long yellow ringo. So these are the earliest of all the sweet peppers that we grow, and these are the ones we started harvesting in May, but we've harvested them continuously since then, and they're really good. They grow a lot bigger than that. These are just sort of finishing. Then these are the kind of lunchbox kind of peppers. Of course, they're really prolific, but they're really small and a bit fiddly, lots of seeds in them. But they're quite nice, very colourful. Put a lot of those in salads. And then of course we've got these big kind of peppers for stuffing and freezing, and putting in the passata mixes and things like that. So they're all the reds. Peppers we'll have now until about the middle of October, and mostly I put my spinach in the pepper beds. So as I clear a pepper bed, which I'll be doing 1 pepper bed a week from next week onwards, as I clear those beds, I'll get them replanted with spinach. And that's a great way of doing it, I find. It means I don't have too much spinach early on in autumn, and I don't have to clear all my peppers all at once. So more brassicas. So we've got here some nice, come on Steve, calabrese. And we've got quite a lot of cauliflowers coming, and we're just starting to sow our overwintered cauliflowers, the ones we'll be harvesting in spring. So we don't really do cauliflowers in winter. We just don't have quite enough space for that, but we'll have loads of different kales and cabbages and things like that through winter. These, we do cherry tomatoes for cooking. So these are cherry tomatoes we picked to cook with. And one of the reasons we do that, even though it's quite a lot of fuss and bother, is just because the nutrition, you know, the nutrition is in the skins and the seeds. So there's lots of skin and lots of seeds in these little babies. And then these are the bigger sort of paste type tomatoes that we also use for cooking. Leeks, we now have leeks obviously until well into next year. And then we kind of start harvesting green garlic and elephant garlic as a leek alternative. Pears, we've got loads of those. We're just picking to eat fresh at this point in the year. And we'll do our bulk harvest a bit later on. Green beans, French beans and runner beans, we don't freeze them. So that is more than enough for us. We've harvested those since May continuously. So it's been pretty nice, and we're getting a bit fed up with them now, so we're quite happy soon in October to stop eating beans and wait until we get them again next May. These are potatoes. We've got 37 tubs of potatoes, and we've got 34 weeks until we have potatoes again, new potatoes in May. So we've got 3 tubs of contingency, and so we'll be harvesting basically that amount or more every week until May. Parsnips, played around with parsnips this year, growing them a bit earlier. These are the little ones, but they're looking really nice, better condition than the big ones, but then the big ones are bigger. I'll show you those in a sec. I've done a lot of carrots this year. I'm very pleased with them. These are short and sweet, and they're short, but they're not unusually sweet, I would say. They're reasonably good kind of harvesters. Pretty pleased with the quality of them. Didn't do a very good job cleaning them up, unfortunately. We don't do radishes in summer, so these are the first of the radishes, and we'll have a lot more through autumn, and then we do them over winter, but not a huge amount, just for Debbie and I. I forgot to harvest the beetroot. We've got loads and loads of beetroot, and our storage beetroot crop actually isn't doing incredibly well. I think it's just this really hot weather that we've had, and obviously complete lack of rain. But I think we'll muddle through. But yeah, obviously the storage beetroot a lot bigger than those, but those are fine for eating fresh now. We're at well over 1,000 cucumbers now, and I keep thinking it's going to slow down, but it keeps on going. And that is because I haven't kind of tidied them up. I've just let them, grow new stems, and the new stems just keep bursting into flower as the old stems kind of start to finish. And so we've got loads, and we keep on having loads, and we pickled loads, and we're giving loads away every week. But yeah, cucumbers. It's been a crazy year for cucumbers. These are the tomatoes to go into the salad mixes. Those are the cucumbers to go into my salad mixes because I like the small ones. Those are the salad carrots. And we've got some we've got some Mizuna in these boxes, but it dries out quickly, so I'll leave the top on. And then these are the big parsnips, which is pretty big for this time of year, to be honest, so I'm quite pleased with those. As I say, these parsnips are from our early bed. We should have parsnips now, probably till the end of winter, I guess. And then these are little baby onions. So these are a bulbing onion. I think these are Leela, but they might be North Holland blood red. They're just sown at spring onion density later on in the year. So I think they're probably March, April sort of time. And so they just have time to bulb a little bit, but they're just super sweet. So I really love them as a kind of complement to traditional salad onions, bunching onions. And then these are the bunching onions. So we've got a decent harvest for the first time ever, actually. Managed to find a variety that grows well for me over summer, which is Summerland, I think. Strawberries are just restarting. The what are they called? Perennial or everbearing. A few chili peppers. And every other week, I think, we'll be harvesting this red cabbage, this amount, and a slice lasts for a week for us. We don't get through a huge quantity of it, but we are pickling some of it as well. And this is the first proper pick of the sweet corn. We've got, 100 sweet corns or something to harvest over September and into early October. And then these are the cooking carrots. And then these are all the salad bases. We've obviously got to make all those up with all these other sprinkles. And so salad volume's obviously picking up now. I did something different with the salads this year. I just grew them in for head lettuce rather than individual leaves. And that is just so much easier at this time of the year. Obviously we'll have to pick individual leaves when we get into winter and early spring. But through summer, I'm mainly done head lettuces, and the quality of these head lettuces is just so much better than individual leaves, and it's so much easier to plan and obviously the harvesting is way easier than picking individual leaves. So I think it just depends on the time of year, but I'm a big fan of head lettuce in sort of late spring, summer and early autumn. So I think that's pretty much it, other than, yeah, we've got carrots through until May when the new carrots are ready, cucumbers through probably until October, then we start harvesting those again in May. We don't do tomatoes through winter, we just buy them from the shops, but all these cooking tomatoes obviously will be turned into passatas and sauces and ketchups and things. And I think that is pretty much everything that I've got to say. Other than that, this is kind of the table that we like to harvest every week of the year. It's just the mix of things that we grow changes obviously through that time, but we always like to harvest 30 to 40 different types of things every week of the year, and it just changes, you know, out of the 250 something things that we grow in total. So yeah, my name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment Channel, and I'll see you soon.